Hey guys, I gotta come back. Listen, I was just on this trail just a moment ago, and I met one of the ladies that was at the retreat last year, and we weren't in the same location, but it's mobile. It goes from state to state. I think last year we were in Myrtle Beach. But anyway, I met one of the sisters from last year and I hadn't seen her. I was wondering, one of the ladies from last year, networking, a friend that one of the young ladies that I had met. And again, at this conference, as I said before, there are women from all over the country. Go up these stairs. Hold on just a second. I don't want to miss my step. This landscape out here is beautiful too. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I love it. But anyway, let me look at that. Isn't that beautiful? But I was talking to the lady that I had seen last year. And so, again, you're able to meet people from all across the country and network. So let me catch my breath because I've been walking for a little while. So I was talking to the lady, and let me sit down for a minute. So while I was talking to her, I she asked me. Okay, of course, she noticed that my hair was missing, and she began to just ask how I was doing, what have you. And I shared some of my story with her, and as I was talking to her, I was telling her the part about when I had first gotten into the emergency room, how my daughter had asked one of the doctors, the first doctor in the room with me. We were in the waiting room. I mean, not waiting room, but the triage. You know, when you first get into the emergency room, they sign you in, and then after a while, they call you into a certain part to check your vitals and stuff and to see what's going on with you. And then they ask the doctor to come in, and then they make the decision on whether they're going to overnight you or whatever. So at that point, so we were at that point, and my daughter asked the doctor for some blood work because, even though, like I said before, I've had skin issues, but it was something else going on, and I didn't know what it was. I just knew that I didn't feel good. I was sick. I had been in the bed for 3 days. I had gotten off on Thursday afternoon. I went to see my godmother, and she gave me some medicine to try to solve what it was that I thought it was, because I thought it was the flu. Wasn't sure what it was. But anyway, I went home, and after that, I didn't even bother taking the medicine. I was feeling just that bad. I just went and got into bed, and I was in the bed for 3 days. So on Sunday, when I didn't come to church, I'm a faith-based person, so fellowshipping with other believers is important to me. So when I didn't, and that's a time when I spend with my daughters, we go to church and then we have dinner or whatever. So when I didn't come to church, that alarmed them, and they were like, something's wrong with mommy, because we don't, she doesn't miss church like that. We got to check and make sure she's okay, even though I had been telling them I was okay, because that's the mama in me. I'm like, I'm gonna tough it out. It's okay. It might be like a bug or something. I'm okay. But I wasn't okay at all. And so so after talking to the girls on the phone, my oldest one, she insisted that I go to the hospital. And so when I went to the hospital, at that point, after they had done all the basic stuff, the first part of it, she asked for blood work. And so the doctor, that first doctor, he was like, well, it's going to take 48 hours for that to get back. And so she was like, okay, something's wrong with my mom. We need some blood work. And he didn't sound encouraging as far as wanting to do the blood work. So at that point, she just quit. She just stopped talking to him. And so she didn't say anything else. So when the next doctor came in, she asked again for the blood work. And she was like, there's something wrong with my mother. She's been having skin issues or whatever, but there's something else wrong with her, we feel like, and I would like to have some blood work done. So the guy was like, so the young lady that was a doctor, she was like, of course we'll do blood work. If that's what you want, we'll do that. At this point, we want to take all measures that we need to take to find out what's going on. And so I'm so glad. I'm just thinking now. I was on the trail and I was thinking that what if my daughter hadn't been persistent with asking for the blood work from the second doctor? What if she would have just listened to what the first doctor said about it taking 48 hours to come back, and it's probably just whatever, but we'll check and see what's going on. And then when the second doctor came in, she was more persistent, and she was like, "We need some blood work." If we wouldn't have if the blood work wouldn't have been taken, we wouldn't have never found out. We would have never found out that I had staph infection in my bloodstream. You know what I'm thinking? It's just amazing how things work and the way, and I know you know my audience. Like I said, I'm faith based, so I will talk about God from time to time and how He intervened in this illness that I had. I mean, it's just amazing that He put it upon my daughter was impressed to ask to be persistent about the blood work, because if she hadn't, I don't know what would have happened other than death. Because at that point, like I said, I had it for so long and didn't know I had the infection in my bloodstream. And at that point, when I was in the hospital, it was almost septic. So anyway, I was on the trail and I was thinking about it. And I just wanted to come and tell you guys that no matter what stage you're in, what's happening in your life, I want you to be confident in knowing that, just have faith and believe that the Lord knows what's going on with you, and that if you trust in Him and pray and have faith to believe, He orchestrates. He's the master orchestrator, and He arranges things, and He knows what your future is and knows what's happening, and He puts things in place, and things just fall in place. It may be a struggle, it may take a while or what have you, and it may not work out the way that you wanted it to work out, but the things work out. There's a scripture, and I'm not a preacher or anything like that. I'm just a faith believer that believes in a higher power, that I believe in God and know that He saved my life. And I'm just sharing my journey with you. But just know that there's a scripture that says that the Lord works things out for good to those that believe and trust in Him. There's a scripture that says that no matter what you're dealing with, even if there are evil forces, and there are evil forces, that if there are evil forces, whatever it is that has been done in your life and the things that you're experiencing that have come in your life to hurt you and to get you down and to make you throw in the towel and give up, just know that the things that the Lord is working those things out, and it's gonna come out good. It may not come out like you want it to come out, but trust me, it will work out. But you just gotta hang in there. And so I just wanted to come on this morning. I was thinking about you guys, and again, I appreciate the support. I appreciate the comments. Comment below and let me know what you're thinking. I'd like to know. Again, I'll see you later on. I'm going to do some more footage later on. Might be able to show you some of the women that are going to be at the second part of the session today. It's been a great morning already. I've been empowered. Listen to this lady tell me about her mother. As I shared my story with her, she began to share her story about what happened with her mother, and her mother having an aneurysm, and everyone thought that she was going to die. But she's a walking testimony. She's okay. The Lord, she survived. And that she's thriving again. It's 2 years later, and she's thriving. She's back to work, back at her ministry or whatever it was that she was doing, back with her family. And it's just good to hear encouraging stories. So comment below and let me know. Have you ever been through anything and that everything worked out okay? Have you ever been through anything and thought that it wasn't going to work and it did? Have you ever been so sick that you thought you were going to die and you didn't? Have you ever, or do you know anybody that was so sick that everybody thought that they were going to die and they didn't? Comment below and let me know what you think. Again, you've been watching a few minutes of Robin's Reality, and I'll see you soon. Bye.